Phil Klemmer.
Nick Zano.
Phil Klemmer.
Josh Dumel and Phil Klemmer.
Looking for getting more, a bit more supernatural and work with it. How much can you talk about that?
Oh, sure. Well, yeah, I feel like when you invite Constantine on the show, that comes with its own sort of, we dabbled in the world of the occult with like Nora Dark and Damien Dark, and I don't know, I like doing those spookier episodes that kind of it keeps the silly from being too silly. I don't know. It's we haven't done it yet, so I mean
we're maybe at episode 2.5.
Yeah,
we're not even done with 2 yet.
But I mean, the thing, I am interested in doing like old school, in camera, prosthetic, or I feel like not to knock CGI, but like as a child of the '80s, like I really dig like old school, just monster makeup, and that's Sam Raimi. Just I feel like sometimes having limitations forces you to come up with really ingenious ways of doing stuff. So like we had that Mollis gazillion dollar CGI bad guy, but the problem is you don't really get to have a story with those kind of things. I want the kind of monsters that you have like a scene with you and
I think it's just so strong.
She's so sick. It's like just a ball-peen hammer.
During the last season, we saw some homages to the classic movies, E.T. and the Exorcist.
And
that was a dope episode.
They're there. So are you gonna keep bringing those, into the season?
Definitely. It always helps me to have like a genre in mind when you make an episode. I'm trying to figure out whether we have any big homages coming your way. I'm trying to figure out what I have to spoil. We're kind of doing our version of the Crucible, which doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
But a funny version of
a funny version of the Crucible.
Yeah. Mr. Bean goes to the Crucible.
And what is the shape of the new season going to be? Because right now with as you said, the darker part with Constantine and Nora in it, and then but there's also the very, very light part.
Yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, humor and heavy stuff can coexist on our show. It just, the conceit of the show itself is so preposterous that I think we've been given the liberty to do what you can't do anywhere else. Like, forget cable, network, any of the rest of it. I mean, we've been given like carte blanche to tell any story, any genre we want to tell, and like for better or for worse, I think people are just like ready to. I think it's the characters are real, their interactions are true to life, and so like it gives us a lot of rope.
We have no rules. Like Phil and I were talking over hiatus. Like we can go in any direction any week we want, but it's okay because it's Legends. Like we can make an ET episode. We can like do that, and everyone's comfortable watching because we don't have a blueprint. And we can change our tone all the time. For whatever reason, we exist in this pocket where everyone kind of leaves us alone creatively. And that pocket's kind of special and rare in TV. And we all are aware of it. We don't take it for granted. And we get really behind it. If we're not behind it, I mean, that's some people's crazy thing to read and then be like, Phil, what is this?
It's gonna work.
And it's like, trust us. He's a giant fluffy blue thing.
Well, I mean, you think like that Victor Garber died in this gut-wrenching, awful scenario, and then the next episode we had a grief puppet of Wentworth Miller.
Yes, bro.
And like, if you just academically, if somebody told you like that's bad, no,
that's bad TV.
But
like,
some
you don't do that.
But they're like the pathos of him dying, that was honest, and the humor of Wentworth pulling it, like somehow they're true to the spirit of the show in its own way, that they can coexist. You know,
There was a moment that day when Wentworth had the puppies, and I hadn't seen the Martin puppet.
Yeah.
And I went into the wave rider, and I sat down across from Wentworth, and he looked at me and he goes, "Have you seen it?" And I was like, I go, "No, I haven't." He goes, and then they got everything set up, and he picks up this puppet, which was far larger than I normally expected,
and more lifelike,
and way more lifelike. And he was like using it, and I'm just, I go, Winnie, I can't, bro. I can't. I need like 3 minutes with you two to get there to adjust to this site.
Yeah, we've written a lot of drugs into our show, and it's certainly not an endorsement, but at the same time, there are times where that's the only way you can make sense of what's happening. Is like, this is psychedelic. And actually, we're going to start this season with probably the pinnacle of psychedelia.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a big old trip.
Yeah.
You go see Tim Leary?
Not far off. Not far off.
Tim Leary is now a producer on it.
Now, let's talk about the breakup.
Okay.
How are you going to come to grips with that during the season?
It's ever present with Nate. Even though other things are occurring, it's always there. It's always surfacing. It can always be brought up, even though we may start in some crazy road. It's there, and it's played lately, and will for sure be visited this season. 100%. I saw you at the party last night.
I mean, it's funny. We have a show where it's kind of a gag, but it's really not a gag, because it is kind of who you guys are. That, like, the men on our show are incredibly in touch with their feelings. We do a bit of a traditional gender role swap on the show, where female characters a lot of times are the ones who are doing what men of, our dad's generation had to do, which is like, grin and bear it. Yeah, they have to hold down the job, and and the guys are really dealing with some, I mean, it's just fun to have a guy like Dominic Purcell and think, like, what is the most unusual thing he could do? And you're like, make him a romance novelist. Yeah. Like, make him, and you get to know Dom, and you're like, there is something at the center of you that is true to that story.
Yeah. He is a very central part.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Yeah, take it easy.
I hope that was a good place to
Yeah.